and welcome to Haunted the Truth again with myself, Mark, and I'm here with a guest. This
Hello.
is Tony, and basically, we're going to be talking about everything he does under the name of the Ghost Whisperer. But first and foremost, let's get the hellos out of the way. So, hello to Dave, Snape, Sophia, and exploring the afterlife, and anyone and everyone else that may be here lurking in the background, just wanting to listen and enjoy. So, first and foremost, let everybody know a little bit about yourselves, like a quick intro, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm a paranormal investigator. My actual job is a personal trainer. And obviously, with the paranormal side of things, as a kid, I'd experienced quite a lot in my granddad's house. So as I got older, it encouraged me sort of to just go out there and search whether it could just be my imagination as a kid, and see if there's any truth
Hmm.
in it. Obviously, I've got ADHD as well, so again, it's one of those things that's intrigued me to go out there and just search for myself and just see if it was my imagination as a kid or are there things here that where we can't explain.
Hmm. Was there anything in particular which made you think, like, do you believe in ghosts?
Well, I've seen an apparition as a kid, and it was in the daytime. So for me, I believe there's something there, whether it's what we call a ghost or there's things that we're seeing in a different dimension. Um, can I say 100% is it the afterlife? No, because there's
Hmm.
things that are happening that I can't explain, but I can't prove it's the afterlife. It's just things there that, yeah, it just leaves a question mark. What could it be?
Yeah, I mean, myself. I'm very open skeptic, but I also like to look into a lot of the things that people like different beliefs of what people think and feel, especially someone like yourself who's had an actual account of an apparition, which I'm yet to um, have myself. So I'm quite interested to hear that you had that. But what would you say was the pinnacle that made you think, other than just personal experiences, believing that it wanted to take it into something to show other people?
Well, I used to document stuff. I mean, I've been doing this about 22 years in total. I mean, to be fair, I've been doing this since a kid because
Mm.
obviously I've always been intrigued about it. But obviously, I documented a lot of stuff offline, and I was capturing quite a lot of weird stuff. And I thought, you know what? I didn't want to be that investigator that says I've been doing this 20 years, but there's no proof of it. There's no evidence to show people. So I want to start documenting it. And yeah, it's mainly for myself nowadays. And just share it with people and just say, look, this is what's out there. Go and search for yourself. It's more so to encourage other people than prove, because
Yeah,
I don't think you're never going to do that because obviously everyone's
yeah, yeah,
in a different level when it comes to the paranormal. So really, you just got to do it for yourself, put it up there, and just see what and let people have their say what they think it could be.
I mean, have you had your fair share of like people question you and your beliefs?
Since day one, since I started this, I was criticised for doing daytime investigating, but then that's when I had my actual experience.
Mm.
So, for me, it's like if ghosts are real, spirit, whatever you want to call it, why do they have to be hanging around 3 o'clock in the morning? They would be around in their normal. If you see what I mean. So for me, it was like when I first got into it, I was criticised for that.
Yeah.
Um, Even down to just the simplest thing. Oh, he doesn't dress like in black clothing, more stuff. He's always
What?
wearing like clothes, just silly things like that. And
Well,
it's never
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous saying you must be wearing all black in order to make something happen. That seems a bit outlandish. I've never heard anyone ever say that before. That's actually made me laugh a little bit because
It's quite common, mate. It's quite common, unfortunately.
you're quite into your very colourful displays with outfits, aren't you?
I'm like this day in day out. I'm a beach goer, so I'm in the winter. I'm wearing shorts, and obviously being a personal
Yeah.
trainer and in the gym and stuff, I'm just one of those people. So whether when I go into an investigation, I just wear what I feel comfortable. So I
Mm.
might turn up in shorts and a vest, and it's just me. I don't feel like I need to dress up in a suit or black clothing just to suit the narrative.
So, exploring the Athlas says, agree, Tony. They're around us in the day and the night. It's just less. There's less contamination at night, which I guess is a point to be made. Like if you're like for somewhere like Snuff Mills, for example, where I was with you
Yeah,
recently, you could imagine how many more people would be going through there if we went in the day, for
be
example.
impossible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, it's still good to go there in a day because, like you say, if you're getting things launched at you, it's other people that are doing it, or there's something there that's
Hmm.
there in general. I mean, I've seen a video of you there in the daytime, going there and stuff. It's still a nice place to go and visit, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's quite
yeah.
relaxing
It's
if you ain't
every,
getting things launched at you anyway.
but yeah, and everyone thinks you're a bit of a nutter when you're there shouting out and there's like people like families going by and stuff. It's always
Yeah.
quite funny. Hello, Sandra. Welcome in. And so, oh, Dave's going in the daytime. Oh gosh, yeah, it can be difficult in the day. People do give you funny side eye looks, that's for sure. What's your like family feel about it? Like, or do you have like, does everybody like family and friends all supportive, or does some of them think, oh, he's a bit of a nutter?
Yes and no. I mean, it's weird because my family in my grandma's house all had experiences, but they didn't start talking about it until I got older. And it's like, oh, this happened in the
Hmm.
house, that happened, and it's like, well, why didn't you say anything when I was younger? Because then my brother actually come forward and said that he saw an apparition of a man,
Okay.
as well as what I saw in a suit. He described the same person as what I
Oh,
did.
dear.
And also my dad, my stepdad, who's a skeptic, he doesn't believe in any of it at all.
Okay.
There was a girl that died in the house with whooping cough. Now we were at my granddad's house, probably was about 17, and we thought my mum was being sick because we heard someone struggling to breathe,
Oh,
and it was like, and it was downstairs. So we've all gone downstairs to see if my mum was all right. She was talking to my granddad, and we went, "You all right?" She goes, "Yeah," and then she goes, "It sounds like you were struggling to breathe or being sick." Granddad just goes, "Oh no, it's just the ghost." Now they used to hear that when they were kids
just so
in the house.
casual. Just, oh, it's just
Yeah,
the ghost.
but he was used to it. But yet, when they were kids, they used
Hmm.
to hear a young girl. Bear in mind, that's what you go back 30 years before I even that experienced that. A young girl struggling to breathe in the house. So
Oh,
it was the same sort of thing, and it was heard by many, and even people that actually come to visit the house used to hear a young girl struggling to breathe. So my stepdad was a skeptic at the time, and he still is now. And I said, "What is that?" And
yeah.
he's like, "I don't know. He can't explain it." And I think it frightened him a little bit because again, it's the unseen force.
Well, I find that sometimes as a skeptic, when something is so extreme, it does like really bother the brain quite a lot. I don't know, obviously, because you're a believer. I don't know if you have you ever come across something that's really made you confused, or do you just
Yeah,
accept that it's spirit?
no, I don't accept its spirit or the afterlife because for me, again, when I catch these disembodied voices, if they're genuinely there, I mean, I know if I'm on the other side, I'm going to want to try and make people aware that there's an afterlife, and I
Yeah.
do get responses to questions, and I mean, kind of my setup. I tend to put locked off cameras and get everyone in together so
Hmm.
that everyone's in shot, and then we just ask questions as if I would you, like, how did you die? And sometimes you get responses. 9 times out of 10, you get outs. I mean, that's the only thing that I've learned doing this. You get a lot of get outs, like disembodied voices.
Hmm.
And for me, that's quite a human trait. If you walk into someone's house, they're going to say, "Get out." It's
Yeah.
their territory.
Get off me land.
Yeah. I mean, you had one in that bunker that time, and there was right next to you going, "Get out," and it's like when you did that live and stuff, and you've had a fair few that I've heard watching your videos and stuff, and it's like for me, that's quite a human trait. But other than that, there's just bits and bobs where I've had my name being called. Again, is it someone playing? And yeah, just things in general where we've had children, underground bunkers. We were locked in Wookie Hole caves with a parapsychologist with just our team. Wookie Hole caves let us in there.
They let you in.
They,
Oh, that's a surprise.
yeah, well, they wanted us to go and do a proper investigation there. Just like we'd done two different tour guides. One was just like a historian, and then another one, second time I went, was with a parapsychologist. And I asked him beforehand, "Is there any reason to be hearing voices down in these caves from up above?" He said, "No, it's impossible. We're too
Hmm.
far on the ground." And we caught voices. I even got him to call out, and there was voices there saying, "Get out." He looked, but he wouldn't say it because he was like, I said, "Well, I'm the only male here, mate. So where's that coming from?"
Yeah, that's weird.
So there's a lot to be for me as an investigator that I think I can't explain, but I can't say it's the afterlife.
Yeah, it's one of the. I suppose that's like in a lot of positions where everybody is in that sort of same boat. And well, I mean, some people are quite quaint in just saying no, this is what I believe in. I believe it's spirit. And then there's others like yourselves and especially myself who very much like, well, I need a bit more. I just need a bit more. Carol Vickers says hello, Tony.
Hello, Carol.
I'm assuming you is this someone you know? I'm assuming I don't know. What was that? Of course, somebody would start drilling outside my house when I'm live. Can you hear that?
Yeah. Bloody hell, it sounded like it was in the room, mate. I thought someone was doing some DIY in the room.
No, is it a bit better now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and hit him around the head with a big 2x4.
It wouldn't be, mate. It wouldn't be a what you call a raw live stream if things like that didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. Because I was like, I'm going live, I'm going live, I'm going live. Someone then goes outside.
Yep.
Some Texas Chainsaw Massacre going on out there. What's going on? So I mean, would you consider yourself to have an ability? Like, would you say like you're a sensitive, or that you actually have an ability in order to hear certain things? Do you think that you have something?
I
Because
mean,
half the time I hear nothing.
yeah. I mean, I've worked with probably thousands of people doing this now, and what I try and do is we've been on many events teams, work with people. I try and get everyone into a meditative state
Yeah.
where they're just literally silent, get themselves comfortable, and with the events teams, and try and switch them away from the gadgets.
Hmm.
And people are hearing this like in real time, and it's just a case of like relying on nothing but your ears, and even down to stress. Like I've noticed when I'm stressed out, I can't hear as well, or focus as well. I'm not tuned in. I wouldn't say I'm like a psychic medium or anything. I don't believe in these terminologies. I think
Yeah.
everyone's got a gift. Like if you've heard stuff, then you're
Yeah.
you're tuning in, like you have in the past. You've said, oh, even warmly cocktail, that giggle that we heard, that child's
Yeah,
voice.
no, and I that's one of the clips. So for people that are here now, I do have a few clips that I will be showing that you believe is voices and activity, and we can talk through all of those
Yeah.
coming up. So there's definitely moments where I do agree that yeah, there's definitely something weird in them. So Spirit Seeker Sue says hello, Tony. Mark, hello, welcome. And welcome to Central Massachusetts Paranormal Society. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The other thing I was going to say to you is, do you ever criticize, not criticize, but question the things that you're hearing? Like, are you, how can I put this? Like, are you aware of the possibilities of audio pareidolia?
Yeah, 100%. But then, I mean, this is what I'm saying. If it's audio pareidolia, then if I'm calling stuff out where it says "get out" and it's coming out on camera, that will rule that out because again, I'm hearing it in real time. This is why I don't use EVPs and stuff because again, there's so much manipulation with it. Where if you're calling out a male voice or a child voice in
Hmm.
real time, then that's coming from your own ears. And that's where you've got to sort of say, well, hang on a minute, you could have audio pareidolia, but at the same point, how are you hearing it in real time?
Because, yeah, like some people have said, um, because obviously you have been to a few events and stuff that I've been on in the past, and
Yeah,
other people of some of the questions that I got asked put forward to you was basically some things only you're hearing, you're not hearing. Obviously, you explained, you're really tuned in on that type of thing, but the other thing that they put across was, although there might be a noise or a sound,
yeah,
knowing what it says could be. Do you know what the Laurel Yami effect is?
yeah, yeah.
So like whatever word you read, you hear
Hmm.
that type of ideology. Like what would you say with that? Would you say it's just like an open ended sort of thing where people can take and hear what they would like to hear from it, or do you believe it is 100% the thing that's being said?
Well, again, I always criticize myself. I do live streams myself on my captures and
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm my own criticism in general because sometimes I call things out. I think it says one thing,
Hmm.
then it's like, well, it doesn't. It says something different. But the main thing is I'm picking up on a voice,
Yeah.
and that's the main thing. I mean, you can't mistake a child's voice.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
It's more so like, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say something now went like that.
hmm.
We can both agree there was a voice there,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but then
What's
what's
being
being
said?
said,
Yeah.
oh, I think that just said hello, my name is, and then someone else might be like, well, I thought it said da 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 da,
Oh yeah,
and then
hundred
that's when it
percent.
becomes a bit
I mean,
abstract.
on my lives, we talk about this quite often. I'm like, well, what do you hear? And it's amazing how many people hear things differently.
Yeah.
But what I always point out, it's not about what's being said. What's the most important thing is you're hearing something. So
Hmm.
therefore, there's something there that we picked up in real time, and the audio is picking up what it says. People are going to, say it. I could say it says get out, and someone says no, it says help, or it's weird how people
Yeah.
hear things differently, but that's not a bad thing. At the end of the day, I always just say, even to the events, on events with people in general,
Yeah.
as long as you've heard it, that's what matters, and call it out, because if you don't call it out,
You don't know.
potentially you could catch evidence there, and
You
it's
might be missing something. Yeah.
yeah. So don't
And
be
and
afraid.
also, if someone goes, I suppose on the other account, if someone hears something
Hmm.
and they don't say what was that, if let's say for example somebody sat down in a chair and it
Yeah.
made a noise and they didn't realize it was the sound of a chair, you're
Hmm.
then watching it back because nobody's called it out and gone, oh,
Yeah.
that was me, I sat in the chair. It's then mistaken for a voice. Does that make
Voice.
sense?
Yeah.
Because
100%.
no,
I
because
mean,
nobody's put light on it.
I'm very, when I investigate people, I'm very straight. I just say, if you've moved, sniffed, just say it, because again, I've got to watch this back. I
Yeah.
hate people whispering on investigations, because that's how they tend to come across. Like, you don't hear it as clear as you and I sometimes. I make sure that we're far away from the camera, so again, everyone's in shot, and then it's like we can see what everyone's doing. I've
Yeah.
got a very sort of. I know you've got your own way, and obviously, what works for you, and I respect that, because everyone's got their own way.
My shower
Um,
air.
yeah, yeah, well, yeah, but it works for you. So it's like I said to you before, you've got to do what works for you. And this is what works for me, unfortunately. It's in and
Yeah, yeah.
nine times out of 10, unfortunately, the paranormal is boring. It
Right.
is mainly disembodied voices half the time, and you get your often things moving very rarely. And when you do, it's like wow, it's
Yeah. A lot of
and
the
that.
time it is just sitting about waiting as well, which I
Yeah,
don't think
I mean,
people
people think that
get.
you're just there for an hour, and you're sometimes you're there for 8 9 hours on events, and it's bloody draining. But at the same point, I do believe that there's a point. This is where I end up leaving nowadays. There's a flat point where you think, do you know what, the energy's drained out of the building I'm going, because I'm just sat here just talking to thin air now. I know there's nothing there. I do believe that's to do with energy. It's something I've talked to you about in general with ADHD, autism. I've worked with a lot of people on events that have autism and ADHD, and every one of them seems to be very tuned in, or things are happening around them. And that's what's intrigued me, because in 2019, before the thing happened, you know what, I don't want to say it because of bloody censorship. Um, I was talking about getting a team together of just people with ADHD. And it's happened naturally. So since then, obviously what happened, it just got put to a stop. We couldn't go out for a year, etc. And yeah, I've just met loads of people, and it's been really interesting. Even with people with autism, it's like they're so tuned in, like they're calling things out. I'm looking, thinking I don't need to say anything, and they're not afraid to. Whereas some people are like they're too afraid to say what they heard. Like they point. I'm like, yep, you've heard something. So it's interesting that
Mm.
it's the way people actually investigate. I feel that people that have autism and ADHD do have a gift. I don't know what that gift
Well,
is, but
I
or a
mean,
curse.
naturally, you pick up on things like even not even outside like spiritual types of things. You always pick up on different things that other people might not notice. I don't know if
Yeah,
you notice that. Like with ADHD, it's some stuff. It's just seems more obvious. Like it's almost like you can sometimes tell when someone's chatting absolute waffle,
yeah,
but then other people are being fooled by it, and you're like,
mm,
I'm not falling for that because you're chatting waffle. So there definitely is something to do with people with ADHD and having a higher sense of understanding, or it's something to do with the mind. So who knows if that
overthinking.
does more in the paranormal? Like it'd be interesting, like anyone who's here who has, if you were open um, to talk about if you have ADHD or autism or anything like that, if you feel that you have a higher connection with certain things and activity, and just chuck a comment in if you do. It's, Spirit Seeker Sue saying Snuff Mills is a very creepy place indeed. Would love to go again. Wow, yeah, that place is something else. Do you know I went back there the other day and had someone singing in the river.
Really?
Yeah, it was like this. Right,
What
freaky.
is that? What, you mean not real person, like disembodied voice?
Like,
You mean?
yeah, like I
Yeah,
heard it clear as day. Like I'm talking to you now in the river, humming, like a female voice humming.
yeah.
It was
I can
so
believe,
weird.
I can believe it though, because we caught a voice there with you, a
Yeah,
female, when we are on the bridge. I mean, I said to you when we are on the bridge, like I turned around because I thought someone was behind me. It was like you just it just sounded like someone walking the bridge. and there's no one there. I mean, when you turn up with a hard hat, I was like, we're going to a construction site or something. I didn't.
No.
You're like, no, we're going to Snuff Mills. I was like, okay. But now I see why. I mean, at the time, I must admit, like straight away, I said, could it be fish? You know, because it was landing in the water. But then I looked down. I thought, well, the water's quite low
Hmm.
compared to your side. It's like, and when it happened again, I just saw something dive into the water. So yeah, it's just one of those things. And then when it happened behind Bev, when we were but it seemed to happen when you go on the bridge.
Yeah, yeah, it does go
So it's
on.
almost like that bridge is territorial. That's when things started happening. So maybe something happened on that bridge, or they're claiming it as their own territory or something. I don't
Possibly.
know.
I mean, some people think it's elemental and they think it's fey and that it's protecting the area and doesn't like you going down there. I've heard all sorts, to be honest with you, just loads of different things. So Sophia's saying it's heightened senses that we have. Dave's going, can these senses or can this gift through that people with ADHD and stuff, can it be misled or can it mislead you?
I mean, for me, not yes and no, because like once I leave a location, I switch off. Like it's not like I don't even see it as a gift. It's just I just think again, if it's your energy, if you got high energy, things going to happen around you naturally. And that's me over a tea. I mean, I'm at the gym all the time. You know, I try and do the best I can to burn my energy because again, because your mental health. Otherwise, you just end up thinking over race, and you know it's so for me on an investigation, I just believe that if you've got high energy, and I do again, I've noticed that when I've worked with people, if you've got a flat group, it's flat evening. If you've got high energy people, things just start to happen naturally. So it's again, it's a connection with the right people.
Yeah, I suppose. And I started laughing when you said it because it reminded me of the scene in Ghostbusters 2 when they start singing to the slime and it
Yeah.
comes alive and then that Statue of Liberty starts walking because of the energy that they're putting into it.
Hmm.
So and a lot of the concepts from that movie, Dan Aykroyd researched into the paranormal. So it's not just something that's been made up. It's a fact that he's taken from paranormal lore, if you want to,
Yeah.
if I suppose you could say.
You know yourself. Like I've got a lot of friends that do urban exploring and stuff, and other investigators. So I do a lot of analysing for
Hmm.
them, and I point out disembodied voices. I mean, the urban exploring friends, they don't believe in the paranormal. I'm like, well, there's a child voice there, and it freaks them out because like, well, I was in there on my own, no, mate, and like, no, you weren't. There was a child in there where you were. You know, it's stuff like that that you know people miss, and yeah, you know, it's not just a case of just me rocking up and going, I've caught these voices.
Hmm.
You know, I do a lot of work behind the scenes for people, and you know, just trying to highlight what they're capturing. You know, so I think with ADHD as well, if you know, you get to that zone, once you're into something,
Yeah,
you go really into it. You know, you just go beyond and above because you get that passionate about it, and it drives you mad because when
that's
something
what Dave
happens,
Dave just said that to me. He goes, "Oh, it can drive Mark mad at times." So I'm glad you said that as well.
no, it's true. It can. I mean, I know for myself, you know, like I come back after an investigation, I'm just like, you know, some of the you try and logically explain what's happened, and you look for a rational, you know, explanation, and you can't. And you know, it's just yeah, it's just stuff that I think, you know what, there are things that are out there that are happening, but like I said,
Hmm.
I just leave it with a question mark. Paranormal. You decide what you think it is.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
know,
what
I
kind
know
of say
my own
went
truth,
with.
and that's what matters.
Well, what's your thoughts on like people that are very skeptical and like the like suppose like tearing apart what you're putting out there, like debunking and stuff. Like I, cause I can honestly say, you know, as Haunted of the Truth, I've worked with you and been to
Yeah.
places with you, and I'm not seeing anything that's foul play or anything to that nature. You know, I'm not thinking that has he got something he's going to play out in the background to make a
Hmm.
voice happen. That doesn't happen at all. It is what it is when I'm with you at the very least. But what's your view on the naysayers? I suppose has it had any negative impact on the way you think or feel, or just is it something you just let go?
Well, no, they're just like everyday people to me. You know, there's not anyone in the paranormal that I think, wow, you know, that at the end of the day, everyone's got an opinion, and that's what it is. So I said to you at the start, you've got to do it for yourself, really, because you're always going to get people that question me. I mean, I'm a skeptic when it comes to devices. I'm
Hmm.
like everyone else. You always start out with these things. They sell you these dreams. It does this, and I learned very early, thank God, that you know a lot of it can be like you know. And I've been doing it a long time. I gave up equipment a long time ago, but I've got friends that use it, and you know it's down to them, and you know it's what works for them. But for me, it's just me. I just turn up the camera. and I just and see what happens. Sometimes I've got videos where hundreds where nothing's happened, but then
Yeah.
I've got videos where it does. So it averages itself out. So yeah, it's one of those things. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to opinion, but at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's an opinion.
I
You're not
suppose
there
that
on
when
the.
it becomes very targeted, it becomes different then, doesn't it? Like if someone just, and then when people are just like trolly, like you must have had people just go, ghosts aren't real, this is fake, and you're like, did you even watch it? That's
Yeah,
that
but
sort of
then
comment.
yeah, of course, because again, a lot of people. For me, it's like, well, I always say to people, go out there and experience yourself. You can only put up what you see, and yeah, you're going to get people. I mean, you do this in anything in life, you're going to get people like that. That's just, that's just whether they don't warm to you because your personality or in general, that's just life. The paranormal community is quite toxic, but then every community is toxic, and people bring that toxicity into it. So any community that I've been involved in life in general, you're going to get that, but I tend to sort of just surround myself with people that I trust, and then I don't take YouTube seriously anymore, or Facebook or social media. That's another thing that once you let go of all that, it's stressful, especially when you've got ADHD. Managing these things is very stressful. So I try and do less stress for me and just literally just plonk the videos up, walk
I mean,
away.
but you are. It's not like you're a very small um person in the pond. Like you're considered quite a large like channel or on Facebook, like quite a large following. What have you done to achieve this? Because you've got a lot of eggs in lots of baskets and lots of like links and stuff, haven't you, to different avenues and things
I mean, I
with
started
people.
this up a long, long time ago. So for me, when I first started out, obviously the ADHD in me is I put a lot of energy into my social media, getting the evidence out there. I've got a lot of media contacts which I work alongside. Again, that's another thing, another subject that a lot of the people in the past that I worked with, the media, we're interested in your story, and they sell it so wrong. It's always a negative thing. So now I try and work with people that I can trust when they're putting the story out. They're not putting it out into something negative or
Yeah,
spinning
yeah.
a narrative onto it. So
Although they're always still quite funny. It's always like attacked by crazy ghosts. I'm like,
yeah,
was it crazy?
exactly.
Was it? I don't know. The only crazy thing there was me.
Yeah, but that's just it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, that was a local press and stuff, and
Yeah.
usually they're quite good because again, they want to get the correct stuff out. But it is depending on the writer. And I think if you're gonna, put stuff out there and you're gonna go to these locations, if you put this stuff
Mm.
out there, it's going to encourage other people to go there and search for themselves. Where if it doesn't get out there, no one's ever going to know
No.
because they're not going to want to go there. So I think you need to do it just to sort of encourage others.
Yeah. Although you sometimes then get others that go there, spend 15 minutes there and goes, nothing here. Oh, they're liars. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, luckily we weren't there for that long at Snuff Mills. It just seemed to kick off when we got there.
about an hour and
Um,
a half.
yeah, I mean, but sometimes, like you say, you could be sat there for 4 or 5 hours and you get little dribs and drabs. Was that a bang?
I just did someone clap in your?
No,
It was like
there's a bang outside.
it was. I heard that. I don't know if anyone else heard that in the comments. Let me know.
They're clapping for us.
Sue saying too much negativity in the paranormal. There's really no need for attacking people. No, yeah, it's exactly that. Well, I'll tell you what. Talking about all these captures and clips and stuff, let's have a little watch of some of them. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully I've set it up that you can see it as well. This is the first time I've ever done this, so we're going to give it a go. I'm going to do some of the voices first. So I've got 4 voices and I've got 4 moments of what I would consider activity. Exploring the afterlife. Heard a clap. Okay, so there was a clap. That was weird. It sounded like it was behind me over here. But that's why I asked if it were you, because I thought, did I hear it in my right audio? But I think now it must have been in my room if you didn't hear it. Anyway, that's weird.
You've got an audience behind you, mate.
Yeah. So the first one is going to be a non-believer veteran hears ghostly voice.
Please show your presence.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was by me again.
Oh, yeah. I heard that.
That was clear as
Yeah, I heard
that was
that.
Did you hear that?
yeah.
Yeah, that was by me again.
That was, yeah. I heard that.
That was clear as
Yeah, I heard
that was
that.
Did that work?
No, there's no sound.
No sound for you. But you could see it though, yeah.
You see it, yeah.
You do recall the clip though, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was hoping you would. So hopefully did everyone else hear that? Okay, just to double check that this actually worked. So basically, in that
Are we supposed to
clip,
hear it or?
it may be muting it for us.
Oh, right, okay.
Because
I know what happened anyway.
Otherwise, it's gonna loop. It go yeah, and we'll just hear a loop. So basically, it sounds like someone is saying yeah. What's the background to that?
So we did a Fort Woodley charity event for the veterans, and he's actually a veteran, and he was the only one of the night that said he didn't believe in any of this nonsense. So I decided to take him down in the tunnels with just a small group.
Okay.
And I said, look, you do some calling out because you're in the military. They're going to relate to you. And I placed him literally just there away from everyone. And I said, you know, you may get nothing, but I think you're going to get a better reception than any of us. So he asked, is there anyone there from that served in the military? Can you make this known? And then he said, right behind him, you can hear a voice going, yeah. Now there's 3 people in that group that are skeptics. You can see that the young girl though, she was like holding up. She was freaked out and she didn't believe in any of this. They left early after that.
So that obviously that would help with the situation of like someone going, well, what happens if someone just went, yeah. You would then go, well, why would a skeptic do that? Because they don't believe. So why would they try to, you know what I mean?
Well, she was cuddling to her boyfriend because it frightened her because we heard a couple of things down there. And I mean, for him, he was shocked because he said that it was right in his ear. He could actually feel the voice right next to his ear. He said he looked behind him in one of the videos, goes, what the fuck? It shocked him. And yeah, I just thought, again, it's a simple experiment, but yet it makes sense. It's a military base. He's ex-military. Get the person, to ask questions, and they did get respond. So
sort of like it was kind of like a trigger then to make
things
happen.
Pretty much, yeah.
Good idea. Next one is, did we capture a male disembodied voice saying F you? I believe this is in the ancient Ramin.
Yeah.
From what I can see, the beds. I know that place at the back of my hands. The second I seen the beds. Here it is. Like again, we probably won't hear it, but everyone else will.
Don't really, yeah. As soon as... Oh! Okay, there's someone here now. Definitely here. There's someone, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay. Now, in this one, you're led on the bed.
Yeah.
And then it's like there's another male. Are you the only male in there?
No, it's me and Adam. We're the only 2 males on location. And when the room just felt like a heavy presence. And I literally both looked up. I said, oh, that feels a bit weird. And there's a male going, fuck you, just after we say that. And it's like, where did that come from? And Adam heard it as well. He was like, did you just hear that male voice? I said, yeah. But it was in the room with us.
There's definitely something there that you can clearly hear.
Yeah.
Like a it's almost like an effing hell for me that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Like, but it's definitely a like.
There's an accent to it as well. I mean, this is another thing that I've noticed as well. Like, I've been to different countries and investigated. I've caught people with different languages. I've caught people talking in Latin. For God's sake, it's like, well, where's all that coming from? There's a lot more to it than, like when people are saying, oh, could it be pareidolia or people, you've got people speaking to you in French and stuff. It's like, well, it's I don't speak French, so
yeah,
so it's madness.
I mean, if you hear, if I was ever in a location in England and I heard like Aramaic or Latin, I'm leaving. Just saying, I'm off. Bye. Aramaic or Latin in anywhere is a bad sign according to every horror movie that I've ever seen. So I'm off.
The place that I want to take you to, Debbie used to be a ordained minister, and she did the Lord's Prayer, and then we just started hearing this like weird chanting like sound, and it was someone speaking in Latin, but they were doing it in Latin, and that place kicks off. Like you said about snuff mills, we've had things launched at us. I've taken several.
the one that you sent recently?
Yeah,
Where
the animal
it's
place. It's
down near
basically
you.
an ex-military base.
Yeah, it's open
But then just
access as well. I might do it.
those actual locations, yeah, are the best. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work in privileged not to go to active military bases and to document evidence while like on certain forts and stuff. And some of the stuff you capture is insane, like in
Mhm.
forts and places like that. They're very active, and I don't know whether it's because of the residual energy or because of trauma or whether there's again, are they in their own time? But there's always something going on in forts.
But have you
Always.
ever thought about, like, my concept is it's something within a different plane of existence, but then the question is, then why isn't it everywhere? But then it could just be, like some people believe poltergeists, for example,
Yeah.
to be like, some of them think that they're just spirits that are like noisy spirits of the
Hmm.
living, but some people think that they're something that's been created because of trauma. They've been brought in because of really negative things that have happened in that area. And it's
Yeah.
like, so sometimes you hear cases where it's a new build, brand new house, but then they end up with poltergeist activity because the family's like got a massive dysfunction and there's loads
Hmm.
of problems going on in the house. Like, what's your thoughts on that type of ideology?
Well, it's a bit like I said to you earlier on, isn't it? It's people's energy. So some people energy can attract things. Like with ADHD, like I said, you've got people there that things are things might happen. So it's the same principle there. Is it attached to the person, whatever's happening,
Mm.
but then you've got to also rule out, there's is the place haunted? I mean, I've seen things move like you have, etc. And it's like, well, that's logically it's not possible because it's like you said, if we talked about this before, Mark, like
Yeah,
how can they have a disembodied voice because they
because
don't
they have
have
no
a
lungs, they have no
yeah,
larynx, they
no,
have
no
no
voice box. And then
like,
how can something create footsteps and yet
have no
do you see what I'm
weight.
saying? There's no physical presence like we've
The
heard.
physics don't work. It doesn't work. It hurt.
No.
Don't you set me off.
But this is where I've talked to you about science. Like you've got to question everything because at the end of the day, you can't explain something when we're only on a small percentage of the brain. So we're only dipping into the sea. Like, and it's another subject, the sea. But we're dipping into things when
Mm.
it's only opinions. You can't. We need to learn how to evolve the brain, how that works before we can start saying, oh, this is why it's causing this. This is what's doing that.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
can
me
try
saying,
and figure it out.
yeah,
But
obviously, yeah,
then it goes. You think, oh, I'm onto it now. I figured this out. It does this because of that, and that happens because of that. And then you go to the next place, and it does the complete opposite. And then you're back to
yeah.
square one. And it's no wonder scientists can't figure the bloody thing out because it's just so sporadic and random. I don't know if other people here that are watching this understand this concept of, like, you think it's very rare that you get a location or a place where it will do what it always does. Snuff Mills on a percentage is one of those places where you're pretty much always guaranteed something if you do it properly.
Yeah, I mean, you should keep going back though. I mean, I said to you before because I think this is another thing. If you keep going back to these locations, I think that does help. I mean, again, with the locations that I've done, I visited at least several times because especially the ones that the more urban side, because again, that's another sort of subject with the cost of these venues. I
Yeah.
think they overcharge for things, and I'm not willing to pay some of the money that just for getting disembodied voices told to get out, or whatever. It's like I can't, unless you're going to give me an apparition for that price. I'm
Yeah,
not paying a
yeah.
thousand. Yeah, do you see what I mean? It's like, and it's another thing with the claims, etc. Yeah, they've got a lot of claims, but I think these places are overdone. Personally, I think they've
Well,
got
yeah,
people
like
going in.
30 East Drive, like people putting the things on the edge of the stairs and then them falling down. I'm like, just put the object anywhere but not the edge of the stairs, and I want to see that thing fly through the air. In fact, I want to be chucked through the air for the money that I'm paying to go there. You know what I mean? Throw
Yeah.
me, for goodness sake. I'm saying that whilst having noises in my room. Don't throw me. That was a hypothetical scenario. Just see me launch across my room. Just say,
Well, again, I've never seen that happen, but there you go.
could it be that spirits choose how they want to interact? That's what Dave's asking.
I mean, for me, I look at it like I'm talking to you. Like, if they are generally the afterlife, then yeah, I'm going to go in and ask questions about what happened to them, how they die, and yeah, just treat them as I would talk to you. So I think it's just one of those that I do believe that if you're calling out voices as well, and they know that you can hear them, they're more likely to do more because they're thinking, God, he can hear me. He's not one of these people that relying on devices. He can actually hear my voice. And I think sometimes, especially when I tell you to get out, and I'm not listening, I'm still staying there, and it's like then that's when things start to go a bit weird. It's like it's almost like he can hear me, but he's not listening. He's not getting out.
Yeah.
Is that there's that side to it as well. I mean, I've worked with thousands of people doing this, and it's like you meet all sorts of people that don't believe in it, and and even when I say, well, when we listen back to the camera, you'll hear that, or they've heard it in real time. So it's one of those. I'm not one to shy away from people when it comes to the paranormal. I'm happy to work with anyone because they're just a person at the end of the day, and that's how it should be. Just you're here to document mainly for yourself, but if people want to, see a different side to it, where you just sat there bored at your wits and just calling out things and just see what happens.
It's yeah, I see. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's there's just loads of situations where you never really know what you're gonna get in them, and sometimes people just it isn't for them, and some people, especially when they're new to it, they're like when they watch episodes, for example, they think that's how active it always is, and then you rock up somewhere and they're like, "Why are we sat about for hours?" It's just crazy. Dave, is there the noise when there's drilling outside? Is it really annoying? Because if it is,
you can hear it. You can hear it dipping in and out. It's not that bad though.
I'm gonna go down there and fucking lamp them.
I mean, with the TV side of things, I say I'm fortunate. I was offered to go on a couple of shows, etc., and just talk about my experiences. I was filmed at Shepton Mallet Prison with a place called Unexplained Caught on Camera.
Yeah.
And it's like, unfortunately, I'm one of those people that I won't over dramatize things, and they try and get you to say things. And we should have been filming for like what should have been like 2 hours. It took like 7 hours because I wouldn't give in to their narrative. They were trying to what do you? I'm like, Matt, I've just told you this. Like, it happened how it happened, and I've featured on several things. Bobby and Jail Ghosts, and they're like, oh, we need to run out and make out. I said, no, that's not what happened. I'm not going to do that because that's lying. So that they try again. It's a scare factor.
It's
this
what
is
they
TV.
do. This is what they do. I was on Unexplained Caught on Camera as well, and it's myself and Chris were doing it.
Yeah.
And the amount they wanted us to, we went into Snuff Mills, and it was daylight, and he was like, "Oh, can you go past the camera and say how scared you are right now?" And I'm like, "But I'm not scared right now. It's broad daylight. The birds are going. Like, why would I lie about that?" And then they put it out, and there's a bit where I'm talking about the monk, and it pans through the trees, and they've added a monk in the tree line in the background, as if it was there, as if that's a capture that I've caught. And I'm like, that didn't happen. Like, seriously, I can't trust them. I'm gonna play another clip. This one's at the Warmley Clock Tower. It's the giggling.
Please tell me you heard that. Woo!
Was that outside?
It's upstairs.
Whoa. Chris, can you confirm that was upstairs?
Did it sound loud to you out there?
It's like, it's not even human.
Now, that one was when I was there at the event that I was running when Chris was still part of Haunted Truth. And I mean, that's clear cut, obviously, a giggle. There's no two ways about it. It kind of sounds like when I do an evil giggle when I scare Josh. That's what it reminds me of, that when I send Josh into a dark underground thing and he screams, and then I go like that. It's kind of like that, but even higher pitch.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say to you beforehand? I keep hearing a child, and you were like, really? And then we had like a and you called it out. Then I just had like a and it's like, well, how can you explain it? It's in the house with us. It's like, where's that coming from? And I don't know the reports of the house. I don't look into the history of these places, and I like to go in, just whatever. I believe the gentleman said there was a fire there or something. It's like, well, why is there a child there? Where's that coming from?
Sophia, are you talking about the clip I just played, or the one before I played it? Because obviously I know the comments are slightly delayed. Sophia's saying there's I'm hearing something in the distance. There's a noise of...
Boy
It's
racing
a
cars.
boy racer cars. I'm
You're
like,
getting it all, mate.
I was like, is that in my house, or is that something I just played that you heard in the clip? Let me know. Let me know.
But yeah, even I don't know if you remember that broom that happened when Chris was it literally moved on its it moved on its own. I couldn't see. I come around the corner. I said, I swear I just heard a voice saying, "Get out!" And the next thing, the broom moved, and the gentleman by the door said, "Oh, that was Chris," but he was asleep.
So they want me to play it again. I'll play it again. Okay, I see what they're saying. They think it's you know, like some cars, sports cars that have like a dump valve on them, and they do
Yeah.
that thing where they go. You know that noise that they make in like
Yeah, I mean, it's
Fast
quite
and Furious.
possible.
They're saying I think I was recording that night, so it's not like I have a different angle to look at it. I see what they're saying. It does make a giggly sound though, but it's a good point.
What did you hear when you had that child voice just before that? That was just before this, so that happened just after. And then Chris was by the stairs, and he said that it came from upstairs because he was like, we heard the at the time, and Chris goes, "I'm going to go and stand by the stairs because
And
that's
then
where I
he
keep
heard
hearing it."
the noise
Yeah.
upstairs. Okay, that would make it slightly different, because then that's the one thing that you sometimes find as well with audio on video. You don't really get the depth of where it is. If that
No.
makes sense. Obviously there's stereo, you know if it's left or right, but you don't know if it's up or down or behind or in front. You only know
No.
this bit, so it's difficult to tell. But I can see what people are saying with it sounding like a little bit like.
It's like I said to you before, though, Mark. At the end of the day, you know, people are watching it through a camera. No matter how many cameras you got, you could have cameras on top of cameras behind. They're always going to go, "Oh, there could be someone behind there," or behind. You know, you're always going to be like putting cameras everywhere, and it's like, well, that you know,
Well, yeah, you'd have to have cameras outside. You'd have to have a drone filming the building to make sure no one's near the building, to make sure no one. It's always speculation on what it could be.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, it's like, this is why we keep saying to you, you've got to do it for you. These people are watching from the outside in, you know, and that's like that's easy to say. Oh, it could do, but where they're in the building, so
I see what Sophia's saying now with the car, like when they do that thing where they go.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's like
yeah,
the NOS thing, and because I've seen it in now she said it, I'm like, actually,
possibility.
Yeah. Sue saying, I always find going into any haunted or potential haunted location to be very exciting. I still get the buzz from the unknown part and the whole atmosphere, not knowing what to expect. Yeah, it's yeah, I think I do it on part because of the adrenaline side of it as well.
And the ADHD in your brain, mate. That's what that
you
is.
laughed at me the other day when I said, I was just trying to get things to chuck stuff at me, and you were like, "What?"
Well, it's not. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's well, you want it to happen, but it's like, yeah, it's almost like it's not normal behaviour, is it really? I want someone to lob something at me. It's like, but then at the same point, I think you're looking for that evidence, aren't you? For you, it's like, you know, it's what it's all about. You're searching for it's the adrenaline in you at the same point, but at the same point, it's almost like you don't want it to happen, but what if it does? You know, but it's always the way, though, isn't it? You're always gonna, if it does happen, it'll either be off bloody camera, or do you know what I mean? Like the wrong time, as it always is, unfortunately, with these things.
Extraordinary after I say, and the thing is, if you're not there, it's hard, as you don't know the layout of the building or the surroundings. This is how it always is. It's always like that. Like, even I've turned around and watched people's stuff, and they've had things happen, and then I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't there, so I couldn't have been in a position to go, was someone in that room? Was someone out there? So I understand. I get that perception as an open skeptic completely.
I think we all do it from time to time. It's like, you know, as an investigator, you try and look for explanations, even when you watch other people's footage. Like, could it be that? Could it? Because again, but you're not there, so it is just opinion based on a lot of stuff. And I try not to criticize people, because at the end of the day, you know, who am I to say what is happening and what's not? It's their experience, so I'm not going to take that away from people.
So I've got now some stuff where you've got activity. Let's start with, did we capture poltergeist activity?
The fuck was that? What's that?
fuck's that? What's that?
I have no idea.
Sounds like someone moved the bin. How weird's that? Someone said get out. Something like that. Something like that.
See, that's exactly what it is as well. What I like about that clip is you hear the noise,
Yep.
and then you go, it came from over there, and then you literally go, did it sound like that? And you hit the bin or whatever that is you're hitting, and that's identical. And you can clearly see on camera that there's nobody stood in that corner.
No, I mean, what was good about that capture as well, it was actually on an event called Portals of the Paranormal, and we caught a woman's hair moving actually just before that upstairs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it actually moved. You can see it like that, and she pointed to go, "Someone just moved my hair." And yeah, with that, the lady came down. I said, "Is there any reports of anything banging down here?" Because I was seeing if it could be like a boiler system or something like that. She goes, "No, things have been known to make a banging sound or move down here, but there shouldn't be nothing down here that can cause a banging sound." I explained it to her and said, "This is what it made," and she said, "Well, no, it doesn't do that normally. But obviously, you've obviously caught something there." So I tried to show it the best I could of what I heard, because there was nothing else in that kitchen that would have made that sound, because it was all metal or.
You don't see
And
anything
yeah.
fall or anything like that.
No, and
worried that she's criticising. No, don't be worried about criticising.
no, there's again,
it's needed. Sometimes people spot stuff that maybe that we didn't on an evening, and then if you go, actually, I think it's this, then at least we can put it to bed, and we can go, thank you, you were right, it is that. Put it to bed. Case closed.
There is no wrong and right at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, I look at it this way: we're just sharing what our experiences, and yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So it doesn't, it's like it's the world we live in. So if you're putting it out there to for people to see, then you're going to expect people to go, it could be. So I do my own life, I've got to say, and talk about my captures, and I leave people, so honestly, any suggestions or stuff, it doesn't faze me at all.
Yeah, I'm always happy to hear alternative things of logic and rational thinking to potentially figure out what it could be. But on some of them, you just don't have a clue. Like that clip I just played there, like that nothing's falling. It clearly is that thing that's making the noise because it's identical to the sound that you make on it. It's an unknown occurrence, definitely. Footsteps caught in an asylum now. Let's go.
Hear my footsteps.
They chucked something last time.
Oh, Tony.
What? What's that?
Someone moved over there.
You don't hear the footstep?
Yeah.
So they chucked something last time.
Oh, Tony.
What? What's that?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna.
They chucked something last time.
This one.
Sorry?
So logically, those footsteps sound like there's someone walking on a clean floor. Now you can't walk in that asylum without crunching something. When you listen to those footsteps, it's like someone wearing like
now when I walk or something.
Yeah, but when I walk, and when everyone else, because I tried to recreate it after this happened, I said, "Did you hear the footsteps?" She went, "Yeah." And then I said, I walked over because it was right by the camera where we heard it. I said, I walked over there. All you could hear is crunch, 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 crunch. Wherever I went in there, I said, well, that doesn't make any sense because that sounded like someone walking on marble floor or,
Fludunk.
Yeah. So for me, like, again, I try and rationalize things if I can, but all for that building, again, it's being taught, all you could hear is crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, look, we tried to recreate it, and yeah, all you could hear is that. Listening back, and
I'm gonna have to do it again.
So they chucked something last time.
Oh, Tony.
What? What's that?
Someone moved over there.
You don't hear the footsteps?
Yeah.
I mean, Debbie, she heard it at that time. I was like, she started hearing it before I could, and she was like, Tony. I was like, yeah, and I went quiet, and the next one I goes, jum, 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 and then she goes, I said footsteps, and I looked at the floor straight away, and I was like, that's impossible because there's debris everywhere. Like, where's that coming from?
And even if that's the other thing, people throw, how do you know there's not a homeless person waltzing around through there? It's like, if there's anybody walking through this place, one, if they're doing it with the light off, they're mental. Two, not even the greatest of ninjas would be able to get through there without making a noise.
No, this again,
everything.
Yeah, I mean, that room there is literally, you just got a wall behind it, but that seemed to come from the back wall by the camera, and behind that is just outside. So yeah, even just like for the whole building, I did say to them, no matter what we do in this building, my audio is be shocking because it's like crunch, 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 because it's an old asylum. So that's why I always set up cameras and get everyone sat still. Otherwise, it's just all you're gonna hear is crunch, crunch, crunch. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a different, outlook of it. If you look at it logically, if I walk there on that floor, all you're going to hear is crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah, you hear the glass and stuff underneath you.
Yeah.
Got another one here. It's the unexplained bang.
So, just to clarify, if your name is Harvey, can you bang again, please?
The hell was that?
Is that you, John? Or something behind you?
Something behind me. The hell was that?
So everyone's static. Not a single person's moving.
But this is why I always say that I don't like to load the claims or the history. But after we do the investigation, I ask, and that's one of the claims in that house. There's a lot of banging. So
Okay.
I mean, with Debbie as well, she asked the question, and it happened on command. I'm like, well, that's got to be something, And I always make sure that everyone's, because there is an upstairs. I said no, everyone in the room together because I don't want anything happening and contaminating it. So we all sat in a room together, just called out, and there was a few things that were interesting. But for me, obviously, with old buildings like that, sometimes it could be settling. This is another thing I like to do as well. I spend at least half an hour in the building if I can, or go off on my own and get used to the noises, because if once you do that,
yeah.
you're
I
familiar
mean,
with it.
I've been in so many abandoned places now that I know what settling wood sounds like.
Yeah.
And it's got more of a creak sound to it rather than you know what I mean? That's like a clunk, like it's got a hollow. It's like dunk, like a hollow sound to it. I believe that there's something made a bang noise in that.
But I'm going to say this though, doesn't that show intelligence? Because they've done it on command. So therefore, what we're dealing with, whether it is the afterlife or whatever you want to call it,
being.
Yeah, they're obviously aware. They're conscious of what we're saying, and they're responding. But obviously, again, we can't prove it for a banging. But it's just it's stuff like that I think, well, it's interesting. For me, like a bang's not enough though. It's like
what I find though is what this kind of proves as well in a certain aspect. It shows that when people ask out, sometimes it's better to leave longer gaps because look at if like sometimes you can get carried away or people can get carried away and they'll just be like, is there anyone here? What's your name? Can you make a noise?
Yeah.
Can you throw something? And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? But like, whereas that, if it's gone, can you make a bang? Bang. Yeah, there's a delay there. It's almost like the time's different. Like it's within a different time.
I mean, I don't even notice as well on the videos. I always leave my time and dates there. Every video.
Yeah.
Again, just to show it. It's there. It's not been. It's raw. It's there for you to see. So again, I've always done that because that's just for myself really. But yeah, I mean, a bang's not enough for me anyway because I've heard so many of these things in the past. Like I want to see more. I'm like you. It's like I'm looking for the ultimate now. It's like
you've banged right. I know you're here now, so throw something then, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you do look for more. Unfortunately, it's like an addiction. You want more. It's like I always said: once I caught an apparition, or I'm going to leave. I've done what I searched out for because that's what I saw as a child.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the more I do this, the more you dig through the rabbit holes and you're digging deeper and you're thinking, well, could it be this?
You'll get to a point where you will hit a brick wall because either it doesn't display enough evidence to confirm what it is, or it's outside of our understanding as human beings. So our brain capacity is not intelligent enough to actually understand what it is. It's one of the two.
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
mean, for me, I can't. I've seen enough for my age. I mean, I'm 40 now, so I've done it for a long time, and there will be a stopping point at some point. But what I would like to do is help other teams going forward, like I've been doing throughout the years, what with events
Yeah.
teams and working alongside people. That I would like to sort of do more stuff like that and just show people a different approach, because I think it's important because there's so not that everyone relies on devices, but I think sometimes if you have a bit of everything, it's good for yourself as well because you're listening, you're tuning in, and when you're hearing things and whatever you're calling out on camera, it's what we were looking for, or
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
moving, etc.
Of
So
course, of
where,
course.
whereas devices and stuff, we're always going to be like questioning it. Well, could it be this? Could it be that? So for me, I'd like to do more stuff like that in the future, and just even down to helping people, like I do now with in their video, going, you caught this, and even though it scares the shit out of some of my friends that do have an exploring, but
I just
you know,
like it
for
when it's
that,
like scaring Josh. Anything scaring Josh is funny, in my
oh
opinion.
yeah,
Dave's saying there's a delay. Yeah, yeah, there always is a delay, Dave. On the most part, it's never knock now and then it knocks. Like there's times where so the active everything I do with the activity that happens in the episode is all that's what happens. Like genuinely those are the sounds. But obviously 4 hours in a place, I've condensed it down. So
yeah.
it might have got I might go, can you make a knock? And then condense cut loads out and then put the knock closer to save time. Um, so that's why sometimes it could look like things are happening bang, 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 because that's how it's being put across for a narrative. The things are happening, but maybe not as fast as they're happening. Very rare do they happen that quickly.
Well, you're
Friday.
condensing the videos down, aren't you? As well,
Yeah,
don't forget. You've got to get into a short video, and you're getting the best bits out of several hours.
yeah. It's
And
like I think Billy once said it's like the best bits, like when you watch the sports, the best bits of the sports.
yeah, the highlights.
The highlights, yeah.
Yeah.
Friday House is here. Welcome, Friday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling better now. You're saying I would think that if they perceive the three dimensions, they would also perceive time as well. Just a theory. Yes, it's interesting. Well, I think it is something within a higher dimensional plane anyway. I think
Yeah.
that's why we can't see it, and I think that's why it can still interact, knock, bang, whistle, bump, everything, because what hypothetically speaking, a fourth dimensional being could still have lungs and weight, but we just wouldn't see it because it's 4D and we can't see 4D. That's my perspective. But yeah,
Thing is,
yeah,
when
I've
you,
missed a bit there, Friday. I would like to hear what you have to say about some of the voices and captures that I've been showing. So if you do watch this back, drop a comment. What you're about to say, Tony?
no, I was about to say it's weird because when you go into these rabbit holes, it's like there's so many things you can throw out there, and it's like you said, we don't know 100%, but at least people are now talking about different theories rather than just saying it's the afterlife. It's good that people are starting to think outside the box because you go back years ago, etc., before the internet and stuff, people used to just automatically think, oh, it's a ghost, it's the afterlife, that's what's doing it. Whereas now there's a lot
Yeah.
more things that people are starting to say, well, could it be this? Could it be time? There's so many different theories to it now. But either way or all, that people are experiencing more because of cameras. There's cameras everywhere now. This is where it ruins it though, technology, because you've got that there's cameras everywhere. People are recording more stuff, but then you've got that CGI crap, and
Yeah,
like
yeah, and AI and all that sort of thing.
yeah. I
People
mean, I
going,
try and just keep my videos basic now, like literally just a case of just like using a raw editor and just that's it. It's like because it's just too much. Like, yeah, I know you do filming and stuff, so for you, I can see it. You're very passionate about it. It's like you've got your way of doing it, but I can't. For me, it's too stressful. Don't know how you do it, mate. To be fair,
I'm very pedantic with it.
yeah, it's good though.
Saying it's absolutely amazing to hear voices and not fully rely on devices. This is something Tony has shown me, and I absolutely love investigating like this now.
I mean, Sue's probably one of hundreds of people that I've met where they've, she's seen a different approach to it, and yeah, and it's weird because when they start tuning in, now they're hearing stuff. We go on these locations, what, and yeah, I'm hearing that now, and they've got their own cameras, they're recording for themselves. So it's a rub-off effect. I think
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing because, again, just turning up with a camera sometimes, yeah, it's quite, boring. I mean, I have people saying your videos are boring. Well, unfortunately, that's the paranormal, mate. It's not, I'll try and make it as fun as I can when it comes to the personality, but unfortunately, you go in paranormal investigation mode, you've got to have a bit of seriousness in there as well. So
Yeah, I try to find the line with what I do between keeping it entertaining, keeping it creepy, and keeping it serious all at the same time. It's not an
well,
easy
like doing
task.
baby crying or something.
Well, that's when I'm live, yeah. And
Oh
that was
god.
only because there were people there in the woods and they were scaring me. So I was like, well, I'm going to hide in the tunnel and scare
Yeah, but
them.
they're more likely to look for you when you do that. They're going to probably think there's baby been dumped or something.
Friday saying to counter what you said earlier, or to counter us, I'm not sure. Some near-death experiences claim that once crossed over, time stops, while others see time moving properly. Oh, do you know what that makes me think of? Black
What's that?
holes.
Yeah.
You
I
go
mean,
into a black
my mum
hole,
actually died.
time stops, doesn't it?
My mum actually died actually, and
Oh wow.
for 2 minutes, I believe it was, and she actually saw her own body leave, and the doctors pronounced her dead, and then she could see her own body, and she had epilepsy, and she was saying, "Don't put the spoon in my mouth because obviously you can swallow your tongue when there fits." And then when she woke up, she told the doctor everything they said, and they said it's impossible. And the nurse that was in the room,
Mm.
she said you shouldn't be doing that. And then the nurse went, she ran out crying because she was like, I don't know, she was upset, so it freaked her out a little bit because obviously like she realized that she saw what they were doing, and my mum said she felt at peace. She was looking down at her body. I mean, I believe her because again it was pronounced, she was pronounced dead for 2 minutes, etc. But I've never really delved into the whole that sort of stuff because again it's a different subject, but
Do you
it's
think
interesting
there's
though.
a possibility that, I mean, I've never had experiences with the afterlife, like Dave's saying here, some people are grieving and want hope of it being the afterlife. And I suppose people have near death experiences and they see their loved ones and or if people, some people have seen their loved ones in sort of spirit form.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know too much, but I don't, I don't know. For me personally, I don't think when I go to places, that's what's still loitering there. Um, I think it's something completely different for my own personal thoughts on that. Like how what's your views on like how many religions out there, not just the Christian religions. Oh, hello Elizabeth, by the way. Um, they will say, you know, don't mess with the spirit world, don't go to mediums, don't go to clairvoyants, don't use Ouija boards. The things that you're hearing and the things you're
Yeah.
talking to are evil. They're manipulating. They're devils. They're demons. They're unclean spirits. What's your views on that?
I mean, some people don't have that choice. You can move into a house and you'll get an activity. So therefore, some people it just happens, because of circumstances. But do I always say this, yeah. When you're in an investigation, and I always say this for people, you feel uncomfortable. It's no different to meeting someone in the street and saying he gives me his vibes are not good. I don't trust his energy. Well, I use
Yeah,
that same principle if something don't feel right. I don't believe all this garbage where they say that once you go into the spirit world, you're a light and fluffy, bubbly, and you leave all your. No, I believe you take your traits with you. What you do here is what you take over, which is why you get personalities like swearing and stuff like that, and on camera we've caught stuff and, you take it with you. But again, is that the afterlife? I don't know. Is that residual energy? Possibly.
I just find it hard to see how something can just stay within this
Yeah,
space.
but then religion, you just said it yourself. A lot of religions say that if you've done bad in life, then you're going to go to hell. So do they choose to stay because they think they're going to go to a worse place?
Well, that
And a lot.
purgatory and things like that. Yeah, it's the
So yeah, I do get why they stay. They probably trap themselves here because it's like, well, if I move over to another realm or wherever I'm going to go, especially if they were very religious and they know they've done wrong, they're going to trap themselves, aren't they? So in a sense, religion, in my opinion, is probably what's keeping them here. If I'm being honest, a lot of these because back then there was a lot of religious people, and yeah, if you did something wrong in life and you believed in it, and you think you're going to go to a worse place, you're
this
going
is
to stick where you are.
interesting. I've never had this one before. So Friday said, "What are your thoughts on some hauntings that people have talked about being astral projecting?" So basically, someone. Do you mean like someone is astral projecting, like physical human is astral projecting, and then someone is seeing that and thinking it's a spirit. Is that what he means? Because that's weird. Like, so like having an out of body experience, leaving your body and traveling through, and then, oh, if you could do that, that's one way of proving it, I suppose, isn't it? That your spirit isn't contained just to your body.
I have astral projected once in my life, and that was many years ago. And I didn't like, well, not I didn't like it. I just, again, it just, yeah, it felt quite uncomfortable doing it, to be fair.
Because if you could do it and then you're under like lab conditions, for example, and so,
Yeah.
let's say someone claimed that they could astral project on command. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I do it all the time. Then, in theory, you would be able to then set things up in that room and then say, right, whilst you're astral projecting, throw that cup, and also up there on the bookshelf is an item. I want you to go up there and have a look at the item, come back into your body, and then tell us what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my personal, I mean, if there is such thing as an afterlife, I believe it's like the living. You know, you can't just cross over and suddenly start. You know, they obviously got to learn how to do certain things. So again, a lot of these spirits might have been there for a long time. They've learned how to manipulate reality if they are spirits. So you know, I don't believe you can just go and do it and go move that and stuff. Because if it was that easy, then the paranormal wouldn't be the paranormal, would it? It'd just be like, well, we know what that is now. Let's move on to the next subject. So it's one of those that yeah, astral projection. I know lots of people that have done it, and you get DMT as well, where people are taking.
Well, yeah. Then it's the question of, is that just your own brain playing
mind?
with you?
Yeah.
Talking of the astral projection and people seeing spirit and things like that, I got one more clip which actually leads into all of this, and it's what did we just capture on camera? This one is very interesting.
Watch closely as Tony's camera captures something bizarre. A white figure moving across the room. A white figure moving across the room.
Now I can tell people straight away that that is not a like bit of dust. It's too formed, and it's the way it's moving. It's too big. It's got several sections to it. It's weird. What are people's thoughts on that? What's the backstory of that?
So we were at Shetson Mallet Prison, and Adam, who was in charge of the event, was with the public. Now, you had a mixture of there, people that believe in the paranormal, but obviously I don't take part in seances. I always like to observe what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the room just felt really horrible, and it really did, like to the point where I just said to the group downstairs, something's changed in the room. And I said to Bev at the time, something's going to happen. Something don't feel right. And then within about a minute and a half of that happening, Adam dropped to the ground, collapsed. He said he felt like his body was being electrocuted, and he was in agony. And my first concern was get him out of the room. You had two psychic mediums, and they're like, no, he'll be fine. I was like, no, get him out of the room, because whatever's in there is affecting him. And obviously, while we were actually recording, that was what was caught. Now, I didn't actually capture this in a sense of like, I put the video up of showing what happened to Adam, and I cut a lot of it out because I didn't want to show it, but I just wanted to show people what happened. And it went to one of the viewers, said, do you realise you've caught something? And I was like, sorry, caught something where? And they screenshot it for me. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? So I was more into what happened to Adam, but that happened just literally just before Adam collapsed. That thing just appears out of nowhere and walks off. I mean, some people say to me it looks like an alien.
Yeah, it's some hello admit, and Sophia's asking, can we show it in slower frames? I will give it a go, Sophia. I will give it a go. So let me just do playback and see if I can slow this down to this speed.
Watch closely as Tony's camera captures something bizarre. A white figure moving across the room.
See the eyes.
Let's go even slower with that. Slower again. Is it gonna...
A white figure moving across.
What's that? How's that? You're right there, actually. What you just said there. It's like it glows at one point.
Well, the eyes, you can see the eyes when it's almost like big eyes, bulgy eyes, quite glowy. I mean, I've had people say to me it looks like a grey alien. I've had people say it looks like a child. I've had so many different sort of, but the thing is, like I said, things don't just appear out of nowhere and walk off. Do you know what I mean? It's like stuff like that that makes me think, well, what is it? I've left it with a question mark, to be fair, what it could be. But again, it was one of my viewers that pointed it out. I mean, when it actually happened, there was this horrific screeching sound. I can't. It hurt my ears. I said to Bev at the time, like, what the hell was that? But I didn't see anything. So it was like I can't even make the noise. It was just horrific. And then that's when it all kicked off. Or then Adam, just after that, that's when he collapsed to the ground. So it all adds up. I mean, Adam actually said we actually went to the wrong event. Actually, we were meant to be going the following week and turned up to this event. And Adam was the event person, and he said, "No, you've come all that way, 3 hours, etc. Come into our event." So he actually believes that I was meant to be there on that particular day because our event was actually for a sleepover at Shetland Mallet. They do stuff sleepovers.
Yeah.
And also we went the wrong. My ADHD and me, I picked the wrong bloody date and said, "Oh, so we've turned up, and this is what's happened." And obviously, that people in that group were shocked when they saw that because they wanted to know what happened.
I'd be like, if I see it, I'd be like changing all the contrast and everything. Sophia saying looks like it's four-legged. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything because, I mean, Adam was petrified of going back to Shetland. We had to film there with the unexplained quantum camera, and he was crying.
Friday's asking, do you still have the original clip, or is it only the version which?
I've got the full video on YouTube, Facebook. Yeah,
like, do you keep the OG files, or is it just too much space?
I don't need to because most of the videos that I put up now, I just literally leave raw. So literally,
I think what he's meaning, because I'm assuming that one's taken from unexplained quantum camera, going by the voice.
That's where I got. Yeah. That's the capture I got. Yeah, but the raw videos on Facebook and YouTube and stuff. But yeah,
I'm interested to know why the entire scene went pixelated. Possibly a change in AGC with IR light being reflected by a close object. I don't know. I don't know too much about that. Not gonna lie. So he's going along the lines of possibly something being close to the lens and making it look like it's in the room, like some sort of illusion of depth of perception, I suppose.
Yeah, we were actually on a balcony at the time, facing down at the group. Bear in mind, we're in lights off, etc. We're facing down, so we're looking down at everybody. There's a chapel area, so we were recording from above and facing the group, so we're looking down. And also that camera was on a still, so that again it's moving. My camera's not moving, so if it was a glare, then the camera would be moving with it. If that makes sense.
Joe Brown, sorry, Tony. Can you repeat what happened after someone collapsed as an advert came on? I do apologise about my adverts. I don't know. Are they playing mid rolls? I don't know. Yes, just say it again. So what happened when someone collapsed?
So yeah, basically Adam and the group who was doing the seance, which I said to them don't do it, especially in a bloody chapel area. He went to go and turn the light off, got back to the group, and I thought he was bloody having a heart attack the way he was going. He's screaming out loud, etc. He dropped to the ground, and then obviously just after that happened, just before that happened, this was caught on camera and it walked past. So it's whether it all matches up, whether something attacked him and it walked off, or whether that's just in there in general, I don't know. Either way, or obviously everyone was accounted for. They were all in a circle. Me and Bev were on the actual top of the balcony, and just like we always do, we leave locked off cameras, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, it says locked off cameras. So Friday's saying the clip changes when the object comes into view. It looks like there's something in the background. It would have been nice to. He's pretty much saying it would be nice to see it on YouTube, without YouTube, because it compresses the video. Although I would point to that though, that it's filmed on one of these.
Yeah,
and it's gonna compress it anyway within this because it's not raw. So and it's not. You're gonna end up with a lot of scatter either way because the shutters on them are not like high end. They're just for body camera captures. It's not like what do you call it? Like the animal documentaries, A Night on Planet Earth with David Attenborough, where everything's crisp. So even if you did get the original footage, it's not going to be the raw. It's not a raw file. It's going to be a compressed file within the H.264 format on the camera.
Yeah.
That might be
I mean,
going
you're
over
looking at a
50,
version there of unexplained quantum camera. It's that I've sent that to you because it's they've zoomed in.
Yeah.
But with me, I've just left it raw. You know, it is what it is. It's like there's no zooming in. And I didn't even see it myself. I put the video up, and the next thing people were saying you've caught something.
You went for a drink of water. You probably not heard anything that I just said. Did you miss everything I just said Friday?
Who, me or
No, Friday.
Oh, right,
House, yeah. I was talking to him about why it, even if you had the raw footage,
yeah,
it's filmed on one of these, so it's compressed within the camera anyway. It's not going to be the greatest of quality, even if there was an original file for it, because those aren't that great when it comes to their shutters.
But I must admit, though, this is one of the things I've learnt doing this. That a lot of these expensive cameras have got poor audio. You have to have amplified microphones and stuff. Whereas a lot of these police cams, they tend to have better audio for some reason. I don't know why that is, but yeah, trying to get a camera with obviously good audio and good vision is so difficult. And I don't know. But again, a lot of the time I've said to you, a lot of the time that things happen is disembodied voices.
Like this sort of thing, I recommend for you.
What's that?
So it's an audio recorder, and you can do onboard audio, or you can hook it up to external microphones.
Can you actually record on that though?
And it's not visuals, it's audio only. So
see,
what you would line it up to whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But for you, because you press record and leave it, you would press record,
yeah,
tap, and then you can line them up easily when you
yeah. Debbie used to do that. I mean, it's a hell of a lot. I mean, I like to just, I know it sounds stupid, but keep it as raw as possible, because it becomes more difficult when you start adding things like that. It's like,
well, I line up 7 audios sometimes.
I don't know how you do it, mate. It's just stress. You don't need that stress.
Because different cameras pick up different sounds, and it's like,
yeah, it's true. They do. Yeah.
That sound I just heard then. Oh, was that a voice? And then you go to the other person's audio, and then you realise that they're just going. And I know that because I can hear them breathing in their camera.
Yeah.
But now I've got the 2 audios to compare. Whereas
that's a good way of doing it.
For you, you've only got the one, so that's where it becomes difficult, I suppose.
That's why I always try and make sure that everyone's like in shot and away from the cameras, because I can see what they're doing. Otherwise, it's like, well, that could be you, that could be you. So I think with you, you try and do it from different angles, from a viewer's point.
Yeah.
You're trying to it makes sense, but for me, I look at it and think, do you know what? There you go. We're here. This is what's happening. There you go, and that's it. Keep it simple.
Believe it. Don't believe it.
Yeah.
Hear it. Don't hear it. It's up to you. Job done. Right, we're going to start wrapping up now, though. So is there anything else that you want to say, or is there any other questions that people want to ask Tony before we go? You can say anything you want to say whilst they decide to ask, if you want.
No, I mean, like I said to you at the start, I think even if for yourself, try not to get too stressed out about it, about people believing in it and what you're experiencing, because it's your journey, man. You know, same with me. We're here to try and get it for ourselves, and I think that's what's important. And some of the things, I mean, I must admit, I'll be one of them. Like, I saw your capture on Unexplained Quantum Camera.
Yeah.
I was featured on that show. I think it was the next episode, and you know, I thought things being launched. I thought, bit far fetched. And I started watching. I thought, well, and then I noticed that a few had ADHD, and I thought, well, that could be triggering something there, you know, on investigations. And I thought, well, you are capturing some really good stuff, and and it's like, well, it's like anything. Go and see it for yourself. You know, what did I say to you? You know, do you want to work together? You know, met you at Warmley Clock Tower, etc. I've turned up, just recorded, and you know, and things were happening there. And it's you got to give people that opportunity.
I'm always open. I've been saying that for years. Like, if people want to question me, don't. If you want to question me, don't sit behind your desk and question me. Come out and meet me, and I'll go to a place with you, and then you can have an opinion. Don't have an opinion behind your keyboard. That's the way I've always said it. And I believe that from what you just said, you believe in the same thing. Dave's asking, before we wrap it up, has Tony ever had any debunkers look at your work?
I have not. I don't watch other YouTubers. I just watch people that I want to watch, so I wouldn't have a clue.
Probably. Someone's probably had a pop at least once.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's opinion, isn't it? So people are entitled to their opinions. But I don't watch channels like as a rule. Same. I only watch two or three channels on YouTube, and there's people that I know. I try and keep it
Yeah.
like that. I can.
So let's wrap this up. Where do people find you then?
On Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is.
And it's under the name Tony the Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, that's correct.
On all the platforms, the same name.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
No worries.
And hopefully, if everybody's enjoyed this evening, if anyone wants to ask anything else, just obviously pop a comment in the comment section. I'm sure Tony will be looking out for any comments of people that didn't get to see this and they've missed it and they want to say other things or ask other things, and you'll answer them if you do that. But until next time, everybody have a good day, and if I don't see you again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Oh, before I forget, tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow at 9:30, Chris, Fright Night Project, who used to be part of Haunting the Truth, there's a video going out on ghosts. I sent a couple of things to him, and he's going to be doing a few of those, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you want to go watch that. And next Sunday will be Haunted Farmhouse. Not Halfway Farm, although I went back there with Josh. You heard that first, guys. I went back there with Josh. That's coming soon. Coming soon! Until next time, thank you. Have a good day. Please subscribe, like, and share. Namaste.